wanting to do. If you don't have that connection, it doesn't matter if it's a music instrument or a pencil and paper, pardon me, or even this radio show. If you don't connect with it, you're not gonna get. I'm so sorry, guys. Hang on a minute. If you don't connect with it, you're not going to be able to do any well with it. It's kind of like Harry Potter and his magic wand. You know, he has to have that perfect wand in order to do any kind of magic. Without it, you're not going to do any your own magic.
Right. I think it's evident in your voice when you're talking on the air. I get that groove from you.
Yeah. Cool.
I do. Let's hear from some other people. Get in that chat room and fire it up and let hear it.
Absolutely.
An interesting thing about the blues is it's international too. There's an artist that I follow by the name of Wiley Bo Walker, and he's based in London, and he's actually originally from Glasgow, from Scotland, and
wow.
And he does blues, he does a little bit of jazz, he does kind of his own. I don't think he developed it necessarily, but he kind of pushes the genre a little bit, like a swamp gypsy kind of blues thing. Where if Johnny Cash sang songs about shooting a man in Reno to more of a blues sound, it would be a lot like Wiley Bo Walker,
like a Buddy Guy groove or something, you know.
Mm-hmm. And
I remember Buddy did an album not long ago. I bet it was maybe 2 years. It could have been longer. I'm getting old, you know. But he did this swampy thing. I think something like green tea or sweet green tea was one of the cuts on the album. And I just remember getting it home and popping it in and saying, "Wow, this is some really groovy stuff."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, swamp blues is definitely. I think that's kind of what inspired me with Devil on Sunday. A little bit. It was definitely, I think, East Coast. It was a little bit Piedmont blues in the sense that I was using the thumb bass idea, but I think it definitely has the darker overtones to it.
Mm.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you really listen to blues music, there's so many styles and so many different things. It's kind of like when I'm teaching guitar. I explain to people. I always like the cooking analogy. That's the way I go, and because I like to eat. Who doesn't, right? And I always tell people, listen, when you play a solo, okay, it's like a chicken. Everybody has chicken. Every restaurant in the world makes it. But how are you going to prepare it, and how are you going to spice it? And that's the real secret to your success as a restaurant. And I think you need to understand what scales and chords elicit what moods. You have to get and you have to kind of master that if you really want to get in there and tear it up. And
it can be a really delicate balance.
Right. Like, so for instance, when I'm teaching, I have my guitar here. Let's see if we can hear. I'm going to flip it on here. It's just a battery operated thing. Kind of neat. It's my writing guitar. I write all my songs on this puppy because it's just fun. Mm. And hopefully I won't hit the button to kill our line. got a little bit of that happening on the air there?
Yeah, we're still here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, I'll tell students, if you're going to play something B.B. King-ish, you're going to want this type of sound or scale. Because that's that kind of a feel, that happy, melodic, major kind of sounding thing, Now, but that's one kind of chicken, right? Let's say you want to do Chinese chicken. You're going to probably play a scale like this. Right? So it's like, oh my goodness, I would like to play some Indian chicken. Okay, then you're going to need this. Whole different sound. If y'all want to have some of that southern fried chicken, you're going to have to play something like that.
Right.
There's definite taste and flavors out there, and that's what it's really all about. Studying every kind of music you can and learning how to get those flavors and spices going. And then you integrate it into what you're doing. And I think that's a winning formula if you can do it. But it does take a while to kind of get the spice cabinet under your belt. It's not easy.
It does.
There's a lot of spices.
It's one of those things too where it's almost difficult to distinguish between developing your own taste, so to speak, and borrowing someone else's recipe. I mean, it can be seen as kind of like in tribute to someone else to play in a certain style, but it can also sound a little contrived, like you're trying too hard to taste like a different dish, so to speak.
Right, good point. So, I remember one time, Guitar Center always has these jams, these contests and everything, and I never cared for that kind of silliness, but I have a lot of students who were like asking me about it and thinking of joining and going in and competing. So I thought, okay, I should do one of these, or at least attend one and check it out and everything. So I kind of hung with it, and it was fun, but I remember there's this one guy that competed, and he was a Stevie Ray Vaughan clone. Great guitar player. He had talent, and but he even went so far as the look, and I guess that was a little over the top. But hey, I get it, I appreciate it. But I got to tell you, man, at the end of it, it was like, what did he say? Nothing terribly original. That was the problem. He did Stevie well, but I didn't hear originality in it. And he didn't make the second round. He made the first round. But he got, and that was at the local level. Now, when you get up to the national level, it's a lot stickier and a lot more going on. So they make you work for it harder. But, it takes time. It really does. And I think as it unravels, if you're honest and you play from the heart, it starts to take place. It creeps up on you. You don't really know what it's going to be until it is. And then when it is, somebody will tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, you know what I really liked about your music? I like this. And you're going to go, really? I didn't even realize I was doing that. And it's like, well, you are, and we appreciate it. And that's a really good feeling when someone makes a comment like that.
It's kind of moving in the opposite direction from the way that the big corporate music icons kind of want everyone to be, instead of fitting a particular mold and like, this is the sound that's popular right now, you need to sound like this. It's
exactly.
kind of consciously heading off in a separate side tangent.
Yeah, and that's because it's driven by cash, and we understand it. We can all appreciate that, but it does kind of put a damper on things. It kind of stifles creativity if you're not careful, and there's a lot of stuff on the air today that just doesn't reach a soul. It doesn't make you. If it's a purpose, whether it be background music or if you want to move your hiney and dance, you can certainly do that. But that happens today. But when it comes to musicianship, oh God, it's terrible anymore. There's a lot of people that are remiss. They need to spend some more time with the instrument and learn a little bit more.
When I was trying to learn...
go ahead, Chelsea.
Okay. When I was learning to play, I was interested in which one I wanted to play when I was a kid, and I didn't know what I wanted to play. And a guitar, I tried. But I'm 4'11", and I haven't grown since I was 12. I couldn't wrap my hands around the guitar to even do to work the strings, and since I couldn't wrap my arms around it, I kind of gave up on it. And then I tried the trumpet, and I can't really blow that very well.
Yeah, like I said, that third octave is a bitch.
Yeah.
But now, was this an acoustic guitar you played, or was it an electric?
I think. The only way I know how to label the guitars, I am sorry. I'm a blonde when it comes to this kind of stuff. I'm a disc jockey for a reason. It was a country-looking one.
With the hole in it?
Yeah, the hole in it.
Yeah, your boy got it. It was acoustic then. Now, they tend to be a little wider, the necks on those. So it's no wonder your hand was having trouble. And also, the thing you got to know about acoustic is the sound is made naturally by a string vibrating. It's kind of like walking in a gym. If you're in a gym and you shout your name, you get this reverberation that's natural, and it comes back at you. So if you shout a strong word into the gym, it comes back strong. Knowing this, guitar builders, put these heavy, coarse strings on an acoustic. When you thump these strings, they give a good response. When you're talking electric guitar, we're talking magnets and wires sucking in the sound. You could put these little slender nothing strings on that you can bend and you can tool and move around. It's a lot more pleasant way to do guitar. But there is a certain sound to an acoustic guitar, and I think that's what draws people to them naturally. They want to pick up an acoustic. It just looks like the kind you would want to strum and sing to. And, and that, I could see that, but, at least you tried, and I mean, you can always try again, But next time you try, you got to try an electric.
Yeah, I mean, now there's a banjo. There's with a
sure.
small. There's smaller ones now, but back then I didn't know what I wanted to try, and I was curious, and so
Right.
Well, you could always go the route of the ukulele.
I was going to say ukulele, but I was more worried I was going to say it wrong. I didn't.
Now we got to talk about Jake Shima Bakura.
That's right.
He's probably finest in the world. I'm telling you, I don't think I've ever seen anyone manhandle it like he does. I mean, when I saw him do Bohemian Rhapsody on a clip, and I'm just like, who is this freak? Oh my God. And the reason I knew the name was Jimmy Buffett. We went to see him at Madison Square, and he took a little break in between, as most something-year-olds do, and he put this video up on the big screen for all of us while he was, getting his drink and taking his Viagra, whatever he does. And he came out again, but, this video was Jake playing the national anthem at one of his shows. Yeah, and I'm just like, I was intrigued. I'm like, I got to look this guy up. And then when I did, I found the Queen video of him playing Bohemian Rhapsody, and I went, oh, my God, who is this guy? Tremendous musician. And again, thanks to the internet, we can bitch about it all we want, but it's a good thing in the end,
Mm-hmm.
But I guess what bums me out the most about modern music is just like the musicianship doesn't, there are bands doing it wonderful, but again, these might be some of the bands that are lesser known and on different college programs, underground things. The mainstream just isn't bringing it. Perfect example. There was a certain young lady who was on one of those talent shows where they have judges, and this is one of the young ladies who picked a fight with another judge, and her beautiful wisdom and words, just stuck in my head. I get it cracking like a bad back. Bitch talking she the queen when she looking like a lab rat. I'm Angelina, you Jennifer. I apologize for the grammar. Come on, bitch. You see where Brad at? That's my wrist, and I piss on bitches. You don't. What does she say? You don't. Then this is. Give my ass some kisses. But here's the best part. Are you ready? This is the best part. Now, this is deep. Now, y'all got to think about this. It's really deep. You a stupid hoe. You a stupid hoe.
Yep.
Stupid hoe, stupid hoe.
And it repeats
I don't know.
for almost half of the song.
All I can think of is, yeah, that's about it. That pretty much sums it up. What a shame. This is what it's, degenerated down to. So let's get these smaller stations and lesser known people out there, and let's rebuild it. Like I said, it's out there, but it's underground. You got to look for it, folks. So look for it. Bring it out and play it, and tell a friend.
Well, yeah. Well, when I was going looking for music to play, and I saw that you do the blues, like, oh my God, I love the blues. And I heard your music, oh my God, I'm just like in love. And I have other blues musicians too that came onto the feed too, through Music Summit. And I'm just like, yeah, now that's some blues, man. And there's other bands I play on a little later. Is that they play some kind of what in the world?
She just got caught off guard by
Yes, I did.
and
Yeah.
Johnny's lyrical transliteration.
Oh, that's
nice.
what she was talking about. Okay. What?
Yeah.
World?